Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Track by Track. This week's guest is Terry McBride, and we're here to talk about his new album, Hotels and Highways. All right, so Terry, thank you so much for letting us crash your home again.
Oh, we're back.
We are.
For round two.
Absolutely. No, so your album, Hotels and Highways, I want to know about the creative process. What was it like creating this album for you?
Well, that's a secret, kind of like the Kentucky Fried Chicken. I can't just tell everybody the recipe or the words out. But the process of making this record was really started with a song, you know. I just didn't have one in the beginning. As far as putting an EP together. So once I found the first song, Hotels and Highways, actually was that song. Felt good about the song. It felt honest, you know. I could relate to it. So I thought that's a good way to get the project started. That's really how it all got kicked off.
Okay, so the first track is your title track, Hotels and Highways.
Right.
What was it about this song that you related to that you thought, I need to have this song on my album?
Well, I've lived most of the lyrics on that song. I mean, my dad was an entertainer, so I traveled early, young. We moved to Vegas when I was 3. We lived there for a year while my dad played the Stardust Hotel, which was a relatively new hotel back then. It was built, I think, in 1958. It's now gone. But so I've experienced a lot of hotels and certainly highways touring all these years and through my career. And so anyway, I could relate to the song, the lines and the hum at the door, everything you own, a suitcase on the floor. I've seen those pictures many times. And so I like songs like that, you know. I can relate to it for starters. Then hopefully, you know, the listener will find something interesting and can relate as well.
Okay, track 2, I'm partial to the title, California.
Oh,
tell me about it.
Well, that's an interesting song and an interesting way that it came about, because I got with a young writer that day that I had never met, and it was one of those situations where it's like, what do you have? I was not sure I had anything, but I was willing to talk a little bit and see, you know, if we could come up with something. Yeah. And really, through talking, he had mentioned his girlfriend had moved to California, and he was a little kind of jealous of it because she's going on and on about it, you know, how great California is. And I thought, there's our title, or there's our idea, and that's really, we wrote the whole song sort of based around that relationship and that struggle he's having with California, because it's like, I hate your waves pulling her in, I hate your sunshine kissing her skin. It's those types of lines, you know. I thought that's pretty good for a couple guys that had nothing, you know. So, and I like the song. A lot of people respond and let me know about that tune, that they do like it. So that's good. Certainly good to hear.
All right, I believe this is your latest single, Boots Off.
Oh, Boots Off. You are correct. Yeah, it's interesting. This song, first of all, I love boots, so this is sort of a no-brainer for me as far as an idea. And it just came through talking about that and boots and meeting someone that you like enough to want to take your boots off and stay a while. That's what the whole song is about, really. But I like that idea, and that's really how it got started. And then we shot a little lyric video for this single, and I got to use 15 pairs of my boots, including a pair of my dad's old baby blue wingtips that are really cool, some old Tony Lamas. And so I thought that was kind of cool. It was just a little, you know, personal touch for that particular thing. And the song has done really well. I mean, we didn't know what to do. We kind of released it on secondary markets, and it's really, what it's done is introduced me to a lot of people and my music to even more. So lots of offers and cool things have come from it. And that's what we had hoped. Maybe a chance to go out and play some of these places where the single is working. and that's exactly what we've been doing and focusing on moving forward. So yeah, it's been interesting. I like singing this song live because it always gets an interesting response. People just kind of pick up on it for whatever reason live. So I hope to continue to have songs like that moving forward. This is a song from my current EP. It's called Boots Off. Always on the run to another second sun, to another someone, nowhere, no one could tie me down. Always somewhere else bound. Something about the kiss that you're putting on my lips. Oh, I never felt anything like this. Something about you now. Oh, you make me wanna take my boots off. Make me wanna stay a while. Just lay on back, turn something up on the dial, or let that dress drop right there on that hardwood floor. All I know for sure, baby, you make me wanna take my boots off. Yes, you do. For the first time, I haven't thought twice about where I'm gonna be later on tonight. I'm good right here, you whispering in my ear. You make me wanna take my boots off. Make me wanna stay a while. Just lay on back, turn something up on the dial, or let that dress drop right there on that hardwood floor. All I know for sure, baby, you make me wanna take my boots off. Yes, you do. Oh, you make me wanna take my boots off. Make me wanna stay a while. Just lay on back and something up on the dial, or let that dress drop right there on that hardwood floor. All I know for sure, you make me wanna take my boots off. Make me wanna stay a while. Turn something up on the dial, or let that dress drop right there on that hardwood floor. Oh, you make me wanna take my boots off. Oh, you make me wanna take my boots off. Oh, you make me wanna take my boots off. It'd been a long day, so I thought I might go on
Next song is
ahead
worth a
and call
shot.
it a night.
Tell me about this song.
Well, just needed a cool sort of honky-tonk type tune for the EP. I didn't have it. And a young friend of mine, Brandon Hood, talented guy, he had the idea and sort of a shuffle kind of vibe. And I love that, you know. I like songs like that. It kind of reminds me of how I grew up playing songs of very traditional country type tunes, but bringing your own little flair and taste to it, you know, if you can. Traditional songs are tough. They're real standard songs. You know, they have a classic beginning, middle, and end. And changing them up sometimes it's difficult because you're limited without turning into jazz. You know, trying to keep it classic. There are only so many options there, but making it interesting on your own is what's cool about it. If you find those particular songs, so I hope that's what we did with this song. That's what we tried to and set out to do for sure. But it's a cool tune. I've enjoyed playing it and singing it as well.
Okay, let's talk about your song Way Back.
Way Back. This is a song that's interesting. I wrote this with Matt Rogers, a young guy that's having a lot of success right now. I've been riding with him he was a McBride the Ride fan, so his dad's in a band, and they played a lot of McBride the Ride back in the day, so he kind of grew up with that. So we've become pals and still enjoy riding with him. And this was an opportunity to just sort of look back at some songs, give a nod to a couple, you know, artists and that sort of thing that I like. And but it's yeah, I like the song. It continued to sort of round out the record. You know, I felt pretty good about another track that I could sing, and production's kind of cool on this. So yeah, I like this song as well.
We to the end. In the nighttime, tell me about it.
I set out to try and write like a Roy Orbison type of song. I love Roy. I love those dramatic ballads and that backbeat sort of feeling of those songs. But we didn't achieve that at all. We wrote sort of a song that's kind of a throwback vibe, feel a little bit, whatever that is, but more of a classic sounding kind of arrangement a little bit. But I like the song. It's a chance to kind of stretch my vocal range a little bit, kind of fun, which is what I wanted to try and do with the Orbison type of song. Try to find a song like that. I'm still looking for one of those songs, but I liked the song so much we felt it was kind of a cool, melancholy, kind of moody thing to sort of end the record with. It seems like the final track to me, and it turned out that it is.
Oh, you make me wanna take my boots off. You make me wanna stay.
Now that we've talked about all the tracks,
Right.
I want to go a little bit more behind the scenes.
Sure.
Is there anything you can tell me about this album that you haven't talked about yet?
Well, I'll tell you something that's interesting with this record. I've made albums and recorded cool projects and things before, but this really wasn't, I didn't set out to make a record. So these songs came from pieces and parts of demo sessions and a one-off. I might have just recorded one song, which I did for one of these particular tunes. And like Hotels and Highways, that song, we just recorded that to maybe possibly pitch to another artist. Matt Rogers, one of my co-writers, and Tommy Cecil's the other guy who helped write the song. Matt couldn't make it that day. He was going to sing the song. I sang it instead. And then Tommy took it home and tuned my voice and made it sound a whole lot better than it did. But there was something about my voice that really fit the song. You know, he was the first guy to notice that and said, "You need to listen to this because it sure sounds good to me." You know, and I liked it. I thought, man, just surprising chain of events. All of a sudden, I was singing the song instead of Matt, and I liked the way it. Anyway, that kicked off the whole EP. But that was just one song from a session, and then I sort of plucked a couple more from other sessions. I might do 4 songs in a session, maybe 5, and then that particular song would stick out to me as something I'd like to have. And then focused on a couple songs like we were talking earlier, Worth a Shot, In the Nighttime, you know, those kind of songs I really set out to try and write for the project. But same type of thing, I might have cut a couple of those in a session, but I just sort of picked these from different sessions and put it together, and it turned out to be the EP, which is a really different way of recording a record. Now I'm in the process of actually going to go to a major studio like a Blackbird studio, which is a very popular, fantastic tracking room, to do the new album. Going to really assemble a cool core and group of players and really take our time and go in and be prepared. So it'll be different, but I've been able to do a little bit of homework and leading into this project, or before I didn't even know I was going to make a record, which is why I just started looking at songs that I had and then wrote a few moving forward. But yeah, it's been an interesting process, and no matter how you record or get the songs, it's really, if they come together and make a cool project for you, that's really all that matters. Obviously, that's what I've learned, especially through this process. Hey, this is Terry McBride, and here's a song that was a hit for a band I was in called McBride the Ride. The tune is Sacred Ground. We got married in high school, had a baby when we turned 18. I bagged groceries in the daytime, and I learned to fix TVs. When you come by things the hard way, well, you learn how to hold on tight. Don't think you can waltz in here and take her without a fight. No, this ain't just some neon love. 'Cause lately
things I took for granted. She would never look at someone else. Now I got some patching up to do. Oh, and I don't need your help. I know you're believing kind. I sure hope you will. Before she goes and burns those bridges, took so long to build. I'm only saying just something y'all love come lately. It's a precious thing you don't know nothing about. We were joined in the eyes of the Lord, in the eyes of our hometown. Go on and leave her alone. You're treading on sacred ground. Go on and leave her alone. Why don't you leave her alone? Go on and leave her alone. You're treading on sacred ground.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Track by Track featuring Terry McBride. Now, if you haven't gotten your copy of Hotels and Highways, you can get yourself an autographed copy. This one's not autographed, but it is mine. You can go over to terrymcbridemusic.com, grab yourself a copy, and get one for a friend as well. Until next time, guys, we'll see you soon.